Well, good morning. Here it is. It's Friday. We're finally to Friday. It's February the 3rd, and it's hard to believe we're already at the end of this week. But anyway, the weather has improved, and we're certainly thankful for that. Hope that you had a good Thursday. Hope that now you're rested up this morning and ready to tackle the events or the opportunities, as I like to look at it this day, and just do what God has maybe instructed you to do today. This morning I want to bring a devotional entitled "Getting Back to God's Original Design." In Psalm chapter 51 verse 12, it says, "Restore to me the joy of your salvation and uphold me by your generous spirit." At my house, we have electronic gadgets, like most people do, in this day we live in. And, each one has an alarm. The microwave, signals when my food is ready. Excuse me, an alarm on the dryer lets us know when it's time to take the clothes out. The printer signals when, it's out of paper or even out of ink, for that matter. But, all these gadgets also have error codes. And, when an error appears, sometimes I have to consult, the user's manual, in order to find out what's wrong. And then I'll try to to my best ability to correct the problem. Now, I think there are multiple, error codes flashing across the United States today. I really do. I think we're standing at a crossroads. I think we've been there for some time now, and it's getting worse. I don't think we have ever been in worse shape morally than we are right now. Crime continues to explode. Families continue to splinter, and the very fabric of society continues to, it continues to unravel. And, meanwhile, God has given us his user's manual for life, and that's the Word of God, the Bible. We've got everything in there that we need. It tells us, what to do when a society unravels. And what we need today in America and around the globe, for that matter, is a far-reaching, heaven-sent revival. The word revive, it means to restore to original condition. A lot of people today, they like to restore, old cars, old trucks, and even old tractors. My father-in-law, he restored one, and it was beautiful. But they're sticklers about the original paint and the original parts. They want the original equipment if all possible. In the same way, to be spiritually revived, that means to get back to God's original design. Charles Finney, who was a part of one of these great revivals, he described it this way: revival is nothing more or less than a new beginning of obedience to God. A real heaven-sent revival isn't something that, we just start or stop. It's something that God, supernaturally, does. There are times in history, when God has intervened. Each of these divine interventions, has come during a very, dark time, when there was a moral breakdown. And then God, in his grace, he stepped in and he brought about a spiritual awakening. We need one of those real revivals today, one of those heaven-sent spiritual awakenings to happen in this country. That's really the only hope for our country to turn it around. We need to see God work because our nation needs it as never before. I'm 63 years old, and I've seen a lot of things that I never thought I would see. And but it's a sign of the times. Revelation talks about a lot of these things, and I do believe we are seeing some of those things come about. And so I do believe that I believe that any moment God could return and take the church out, take us to be home with Him. And then I believe the second coming will come in about 7 years. But anyway, we won't get into all that. But anyway, we need a heaven sent revival, and it's going to take us as God's believers getting serious and getting on our knees and praying. And I may say more about that on Monday morning. But anyway, I hope you have a wonderful Friday. Hope you have a great weekend. And if you're close by on Sunday morning, come join us. We're having a speaker, Dr. Samuel Thomas. He's the CEO, president of Hope Givers International. He's from India originally, and he does orphanages and things. I think you'd really love to hear him if you can come. But anyway, remember Angie and I, we love you guys, and we're praying for you. And Lord willing, hopefully I'll see you soon. God bless you.